paperless perceptions, packed pupils, and positivity.
My name is Bomber Webb.
And I'm Christopher Olsen.
And you're about to listen to This Week in Sedgefield. Testing 1, 2, 3.
I can see your voice.
Oh, you can see my voice. Oh,
see
that's
it.
good.
I can see your aura. It's beautiful.
That's amazing.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's the flower in front. Whoa, is that you?
There was a saying that people used to say, which was, "Don't look at me in that tone of voice."
I think it works.
Our parents used to be masters of that.
Oh, really?
They could give you a look, and you knew what they were saying instantly. Like,
Yeah.
no more biscuits.
Yeah.
When you were visiting someone's house,
Yes.
and they had offered you a plate of biscuits and what have you, and you were
plate,
edging towards the table.
Yes.
And your mum would go like that look.
Yeah.
And you knew what it meant.
And you're
No,
like,
you
"Don't
can't
shout
have
at me."
another biscuit. Yeah.
Yeah. We know.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Oh, and now parents get to send their kids off for school.
Oh, yes.
A lot of them.
School started
The school
yesterday.
year has started.
Okay, I didn't actually know that you were already recording.
Yeah,
but
me
clearly
neither.
you are.
It looks like we are.
Hello, everyone. Yes, school started yesterday. That was Wednesday, the
15th.
15th.
15th of January, the start of
15th
the
of
school year
January.
for many, and it was cool, very, very cool. Oh, I've got to say, the front page of The Edge was quite possibly my favorite one.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah. That's my kids on there, up
Yes,
a tree.
yeah, the two homeschooled ones.
There we
Yeah,
go.
no,
But
that's
otherwise, so great to see all the kids happy, lined up
it's
at the
always
ready.
a tradition for the Edge is to put a going back to school picture in.
Yeah.
And normally what we do is we can go to the schools, obviously with permission, and get a picture of the kids who've just started school. But
Yes.
our paper was due out on the first day of school.
Oh, as it started, yeah.
Which
So you
means
couldn't-
we had to finalize the picture the day before.
Ooh,
Because
yeah.
we're quick, but we're not that quick. So fortunately, a few kids were quite happy.
Oh, nice.
To put their uniforms on early and meet with our lady photographer.
Yeah.
and have
get it all
a
sorted.
picture taken.
Oh,
Yeah.
very, very nice. No, it's so good to see those smiles, to see the
Thank
excitement.
you. And
all that.
to put details of the schools.
Yeah, there were some interesting ones there. Actually, if I'm honest, I don't know if they were kind of intended that way. Well, I suppose it's just putting the facts out there. But I was a little bit shocked by some of the numbers and stats. Specifically, I don't know if it was grade 1 or grade R, that there were 90 kids in the grade.
90 kids in grade 1.
Oh, was it grade 1?
Of the Smutsville
The
School,
Smutsville
which
Primary.
is actually the proper name for it is Sedgefield Premier.
Yes, there we go. I struggled
did you
to say
like my
premier.
Afrikaans there?
I struggle with it. I was
Premier.
practicing it.
Yeah, it's spelled
I don't know.
primer, but it's got a
Primer, no?
cuppy on the
Yeah,
E.
there you go. Nice little
Cuppy,
hat.
A little hat, yeah.
Weaky.
So, they had 90 learners.
With two teachers.
Two
Is that right?
teachers, 90 learners. That's 45 in a class.
That's challenging.
Wow, it's going to be challenging. Look, I know in the past that school has employed teaching assistants.
Yes, from
I
NITS.
really hope that they've been able to do that, because
Yes.
obviously the funding, I don't know if the funding comes from government for that, but 45 new kids in a class.
That is significant.
Woo! Especially when they're all tired and emotional from
Exactly.
their first day at school.
Yeah. No, it is. And a
That's
big
hectic,
adjustment and a
eh?
big change, and
Yeah,
trying to find that
yeah.
stability for many of them. Very, very new things.
Yes,
So it is.
yeah.
That's tough to manage. I think there's that one organization, KNIT. I don't know if you heard of
Okay.
them. But I remember meeting some teachers who were getting kind of trained up there. And
Okay.
then just another great story. I don't know the full story of them.
Yeah.
But just another great story of the community stepping in and helping.
Okay.
Where help needs to be. Like I see Seabridge is also doing some helping with grade, and Masitandani.
Yes,
grade
yeah.
8 and 9 learners who are struggling a bit. I
Yes,
saw a
who's
little
struggling
ad for
to
that
get ready
as well.
for high school. To make the grade necessary for high school.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always good. And kilt.
Sorry, that's what I'm thinking of. Sorry.
kilt,
Oh,
not
man,
knit,
my bad.
Kilt.
Kilt.
Well, it might be a knitted kilt.
There we go.
I'm not sure. Yeah, kilt do a lot. I can't remember what kilt stands for.
Neisner something.
Neisner something learning
teach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
one of
there's
those.
also KED, which is Neisner Education. No, KET. Sorry.
Oh, KET.
Neisner Education Trust.
Oh, sound very trustworthy. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
So
well done.
there's
Okay.
organizations where people value education,
Yep.
especially for kids who are from impoverished families.
Yeah, and not given a
can't
great
afford
chance.
to go to the schools with smaller classes, and some of them battle. So
Absolutely, yeah.
it's good
But
that people are stepping in.
it seems like it sounds like good news for the matrics and the matric pass rates.
Well, yeah,
It's like elevated. It's record breaking. I think the best of over the past several years.
Yeah, but then we found a little glitch in that, didn't we?
I think there might be a few.
Yeah, actually, it's no laughing matter. What
Well, it is a little. Just 'cause we can.
so what
Yeah, but-
has come up is that though the pass rate has been much higher, the dropout rate in between grade
10.
Is it grade 10?
Yeah.
I
Well, it's
still
you-
deal in forms.
Yeah,
Form
yeah.
1
So,
and
so
Form
that'll be
2.
standard 8.
Or standard 8.
Yeah.
Geez, yeah. So grade 10, between grade 10 and grade
12. Yeah. So that's your FET phase, your further education and training phase. So compulsory schooling will end at grade 9 or standard
I
7. So
see.
they finish there, you write that exam, you get that certificate.
Okay.
And then that's your senior phase.
Yeah.
And then it goes on to FET, which is not compulsory. And then that's where we have the metric of finishing that off and getting your matric.
Okay. So the dropout rate there has been huge.
Yeah.
So basically what they're saying is lots of people are passing the matric, but they're not pointing out that lots of people have left the school before they even got into the matric year.
Yes, and yes, exactly. The ones who started their grade 10, but then didn't follow it all the way through to the end of matric. And then those ones, what are they doing? What are they up to? Are they in work? Hopefully they are in. My bugbear on this, and my fervent belief that skill schools and these smaller institutions, community-based ones, I hope they're funneling into there. I was speaking a little bit with Cleone, our ward councillor, and she was saying that there's another Southern Cape TVET school, which is
great.
like the old Technicons.
Yes,
that's
opening in Neisner.
In Neisner, yes. Yeah, which is really encouraging and very, very cool. So I'm hoping that we see more and more of those.
I've heard that them discuss it in council, allocating the land or something. I think it's municipal land.
Yes.
And I really hope that has gone through. There
Yeah.
was a little bit of heated discussion about it, but I really hope it has gone through.
That doesn't sound right. Heated discussion. They talk to each other so nicely.
Oh, don't they just? Don't they just? Yeah.
But also and it's something that old Musi Maimani has been very, very active in pointing out about the pass rate of your pass percentage for the subject. That according to him, and I haven't delved deeply enough into this to really say confidently, but he's saying that like 30% on subjects gets you a pass in that. So if you do have someone finishing their matric, coming out of big classes and all that, but finishing the matric and they've got, 35, 40% in subjects, they're not getting university entrance or exemption or anything like that.
No.
But they are getting a pass, which, how useful is that going to be?
We talked about earlier about companies having a base cutoff line.
Yes.
So we're only going to employ people with matric, even if it's for sweeping or a messenger or what have you. So there's a positive there.
Yes.
For the student themselves.
Yes.
But in the longer scheme of things, basically we're lowering the standard of pass marks.
Yeah.
The standard of education, because
That's
we're saying to
exactly
people
right. Yeah.
that it's okay to just pass with 30%.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And it's
teenagers, they're not always thinking how hard they're going to work. They might say, hey, well, 30%, I only have to learn a third of.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I will be okay
know.
It's training them up in education. Education should be for what you're doing in the real world, to prepare and equip you for you looking after this, and you looking after your family, and you looking after all of that.
Yeah.
And if you do that 40% well, you're not going to hold on to that job.
No.
It's not going to be, okay, let's try again next year. We'll pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
You're driving off with 40% of your car done.
Open for a lot of discussion. You don't want the the guy with 30% pass in biology operating on you.
Yeah.
But I suppose he won't. He won't get through.
Probably won't,
through the university. I hope.
But they may end up with. I would assume that kind of matric levels and some sort of qualifications are needed for working for the municipality.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was interesting to see in The Edge, the new edition of The Edge, man. I didn't say it earlier, but I missed it. No, I said it to you, but I really missed it.
That's good to hear.
In a few weeks. Oh.
It has, yeah. There's been empty parrot cages all over Central for the last 3 weeks.
I think people planned ahead. They stocked up before.
You think they did? Okay,
they went to all the different shops and picked up one. A lot of coffees and a lot of places picked up one there along the way.
Possibly, yeah.
I can't remember what I was talking about. The Getting Jobs, municipality. Seeing in the new edition, the My Municipal app.
Yes, the municipal app. That's the meter app. My meter app.
Yeah,
that's it.
So
it's something they've released. I haven't actually heard talk of it up until I got this release on Tuesday.
This week, right? Yes.
So it's something new. Maybe it's Mr. Mabaloba,
yes,
the new municipal manager.
Yeah.
Because he sort of obviously has spoken about it on this press release that they issued. And yeah, basically the simple thing is you download the app from whatever platform you can onto your phone, and you take a picture of your meter.
Yes.
Reading.
Yeah.
This is now not for prepaid.
Okay. Yeah. I would assume not.
Prepaid water, as you were, nothing to see here, folks. Same with
Move
prepaid
on.
electricity. But if you are in the old-fashioned and possibly better. I didn't say that out loud.
Yeah. No.
If you have a standard old electricity meter and a standard old water meter, instead of having the person come round to your house to read it, you can read it yourself, take a picture and send it off for more accurate.
That's it,
reading.
and the reference
And hopefully then you don't get a scare, because what they do is they estimate it.
Yes.
And then
that can go wrong.
Suddenly they get to your gate and they manage to read your meter, and suddenly they're saying, "Oh, we were wrong
about that.
You now owe us an extra 18,000 rand. Make sure you pay." Yeah.
That happened with you, just with swap digits. And
they estimated and then they swapped the digits. When they actually did read the meeting, and I got a big fright.
Yes, I would think so. Yeah. So I mean that led to an interesting discussion with us. But what I want to chat about that next week.
Okay.
And because you downloaded the app, you've got
it
at the ready, but you've got to put in your municipal
I've got to put in my
account.
details. Yeah. So I haven't done it yet. So let's report back on that.
I'll totally remember.
I hope so.
But it's been interesting to see how with the GNU and especially the DA pushing towards more innovation. So just more electronic thing, more digital capturing of stuff, especially in home affairs with visas, they're wanting it to be that you need to do your passport. You're doing that online because obviously there's a big mess with all of that.
Yeah.
And of course, that jobs and everything like that. But just this kind of movement away from paper, and I really enjoyed. I haven't gone through it in depth yet. It's just kind of our discussions, but just around how there's been this big advocacy for being paperless, and that's seen as such a good thing. And I'm sure as someone who runs a newspaper, you're like, well, no, guys, no, come on, man.
Paperless, man.
Paperless for what?
No, you can't. Are you going to put your tablet in the bottom of your parrot cage? No, surely not.
Tablets haven't lasted. I've actually got it in a drawer right here by my feet. I've got an old tablet that I think.
Oh, have you? Like an Anodin?
There we go. There's one.
That tablet.
Yeah, I'm literally taking one out. There are little CDs in here.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what that does. There we go. There's our coasters for our coffee.
Anyway, no, but seriously, the article, which I'm sure you're referring to in our paper, is saying, basically it's called Why Print is Not Dead and Paperless is a Myth. So, firstly, before we even touch on the beauty and the greatness and the mightiness of
goosebumps.
the printed word in a newspaper, which I feel quite strongly about.
Oh, really? Okay.
Let's look at the whole paper thing.
Yeah.
So everybody, not everybody, a lot of people believe that if they print out that email, or they print out that photograph or whatever, that they are murdering a tree.
Oh, yeah.
And the trees are running out.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have no trees and no oxygen. So we are planting trees, not us at the edge.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you've planted one or two. You got the forest roots right next to you. Yeah.
For timber, for paper, and then they harvest them, and then they plant more. Now, if we decided we didn't need to have paper, a lot less trees would be planted, and there would be that much less oxygen in the air. Because, a little science lesson here. Trees turn carbon dioxide, which we breathe out, into oxygen.
Oh, wow.
So printed paper is
Hot
good.
take.
And there's a huge amount of recycling of paper.
Yeah, it's one of the ones. So the plastic one is a very interesting one. I don't know if you looked into like the plastic recycling stuff, but how little of plastic is actually recyclable.
Okay.
It's only like 10% or 2%. It's a crazy low number of what actually gets recycled, and then just massive industries just kind of taking that on and just making a lot of cash off it.
Wow.
But that's not the case with paper.
No. And paper, I mean, it's recycled to make more paper. Especially newsprint. It really is. It's a self-sustaining industry, and it's a good industry.
It is a very good industry. I'm a big fan of the paper industry.
When you want to save the planet by not, I mean, we used to have, we used to receive a lot of emails that said at the bottom, "Don't print this email out.
Yes,
save the planet.
Save it. You saved so many trees by
I recently. Last couple of years sometime, received an email from someone involved in forestry that said, please print this out.
Really?
Print it out. You're creating jobs. You are creating sustainable jobs because people are harvesting trees, planting trees, harvesting trees, planting trees.
And it's doing a lot of good.
And when you're thinking of saving the planet, and you think, no, I'd rather store my information
digitally,
on the cloud.
The cloud.
I don't know if everyone knows, but it isn't a nice fluffy place in the sky where your information is stored.
Kamala Harris did. Did you see that one interview? It was hilarious. She spoke about, she was like, it's all saved up in the cloud, right? And she puts her hands above her head and says, it's out there. It's not an actual place, right? And then the person who's interviewing her is like, I don't know how to tell you this, man. Well, I don't know. I can't remember which
warehouses.
It's server farms.
Thousands of hectares of warehouses with big computers in.
That have to be kept cold.
Huge amounts of electricity.
Massive amounts, yeah.
So, there's nothing wrong with printing out your family photographs and having them on display.
It's good too,
using the cloud, they call it the cloud because it's nice and white and fluffy in your mind, but it's not sitting up there.
It's sitting on real devices and real things that need to be changed around. If the big concern is environmentalism, then maybe that's not the best one to argue kind of with. Maybe, I don't know. It would be interesting to hear if somebody does have a different viewpoint on that.
A different view on that, okay, so now we've got that out the way. Why the physical thing of a paper.
Yes, that.
Then we can look at newspaper. My passion, newspaper, a community newspaper.
Yeah, love it.
And newspapers in general. Why they are so important.
Yeah.
And this is quite relevant at the moment because we've just heard that the fact checkers of Meta,
Meta,
have been let go.
Yes, the third party ones that they were paying.
They were paying,
So they we're not going to pay them anymore.
So basically, it's down to, what do they call them?
Community notes.
Community notes. So if someone posts something that isn't true, then people can comment and say this is not true because,
and then give references for why they say.
So why this ties in with the newspaper is because as we've said before, if you put something in a newspaper, you have to fact check it.
Yes.
Because someone's going to come and bang you on the head and say, this is not right. How can you say this?
Yeah.
We're taking you to court. Or whatever. Look,
It's riskier.
It's riskier.
It's riskier to put it in there.
You can't delete it.
It takes bravery. You're basically a knight.
Someone actually
I've always thought so.
sort of said to me once, can you not go around? We printed something to give a quick thing many years ago.
Yeah.
Someone had placed an advert in the paper, just a little one-liner in the classifieds saying such and such a restaurant closed for renovations.
Okay.
And then the next
Pretty
edition,
innocuous,
we were supposed to take that out because he had opened again.
Oh, okay.
And we forgot to take it out.
Oh, yeah.
So he came banging on our door.
Yeah.
My goodness, he was furious.
Fact
he was
checker.
furious. He was saying, you've got to go round to everyone's house and recall this newspaper.
But like, seriously, was he serious
dead
about it?
Serious.
No way.
He was dead serious. He was so angry.
Oh, dear.
And I mean, it was a lesson learned for us.
Yeah.
We kind of, he had run this ad and we just didn't think of the repercussions. We were like, I'm sure he's still renovating. Yeah, just leave it in.
Yeah.
What harm can it do? Oops.
It did harm. Yes.
It did.
People see.
So we can't do that. Newspapers can't do that.
Because there are repercussions. You
There
say
are
something really
Wrong.
you're really wrong. And
Hurtful.
yeah.
So that's why newspapers are important, I think, because they have to print the truth, or as close to the truth.
They have to
as
put
they
in
know.
more time. And I mean, and it does happen with newspapers that they start to lean towards ideologies and things like that. Of course, it's going to happen.
Various newspapers and news agencies support various ideals.
Yeah.
We see it is becoming politicized, especially in countries like America and UK.
In UK, there's just a lot of polarization in there.
That's it.
And where that is particularly relevant for for social media is that there's no gatekeeping of that knowledge and no need, it seems, for the fact checking and putting out opinions and all of that. Is people are just used to being very offended very quickly and also being very afraid to put out an opinion, which we need to in order to learn more, to actually say something that might cause a little bit of discomfort. I would say, and this is on a much smaller scale, obviously, this is not with big news stories and things like that, just opinions that kind of get out there and might get fact checked. But around the dinner table, around the braai, around a cup of coffee, what a great place. The amount of things that I have learned around a cup with a cup of coffee.
Absolutely.
I should probably get a new one at some point. I mean, this one's quite cold. But the amount that you learn there just by putting yourself out there and just being like, well, I think this. And being able to hear, no, well, this. You're getting fact checked live, but you're not doing it in at least what I've experienced in largely like shaming ways or anything like that. But it's so essential to have that.
Maybe the call is for people to do their own fact checking before they put anything on social media.
Think
bounce
before,
it off a few people.
It's not really think before you ink. It's think before you before you type.
Well, the old saying used to be engage brain before putting mouthpiece into motion. But I suppose now it's engage brain before putting your fingers into motion.
Yes.
Just ask, if you have this crazy thought, well, we're going back really to the old adages. Is it kind?
Yeah.
Is it true? Is it helpful?
Yeah.
That's just because it's your opinion, let's go out there. If it's your opinion that a certain race should be doing this or shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just not something that should be put out there.
Yeah, should that be actually on social media?
It shouldn't be.
Is there a place for that? No, there are places for those discussions. Honestly, for that as a discussion where we have place to hear the facts. Maybe you do believe that. I mean, I know growing up in certain schools and in certain areas, I was taught
to truly believe that.
Yes, and I needed to hear that I was wrong, and it's not going to happen from a place where I can just find exactly what I believe in people who say exactly what I think. So read The Edge.
The oracle of truth. I think it's such a we talk about the word censorship, which is so strong.
Yeah, it is.
And we really don't want Big Brother censoring what we say. But we also know that there are people out there who just don't think. They just share all the wrong information. And people see information and say, oh, that looks important, I should share it. They don't ask for an opinion.
Yeah, or where did this come from?
It's really tough. We really just want people to be responsible and nice.
Yeah.
That leads us to another subject.
That does, yeah.
That was also covered in our paper.
I like this one about the power, and this isn't not in a weird way, but just the power of being positive, of being kind, of being and building that into a culture of niceness. You know what? I'll kind of boldly think and boldly say here, but the cultures where we're kind of positively speaking to each other and being nice and working hard and making a point of doing things nicely is a culture that succeeds a bit more. I mean, is that unfair?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's a less pulverized.
A less pulverizing
Stop pulverizing.
situation. Well, yes, that too. Straight up,
It's a less polarized thing. So because when people are positive, when people spend more time being nice to people and communities are built up, we're more inclined to listen, to agree, to gently disagree,
and to enact change from those gentle disagreements.
rather than
we can
sitting on your own at your computer saying, this is right and this is wrong.
and just growing kind of bitter and
So that whole article we had in our paper about the power of positive thinking, it does sound like a book title. In fact, I think it is a book title.
Yeah.
The Power of Positive Thinking.
Probably.
But it also talks about, especially with social media in mind, it talks about if you do negative things, and this once again includes social media, so you're sharing negative stuff.
And teachers, they should never mark wrong.
That's it, yeah.
Just push them through, right?
Yeah.
Wait, maybe not that far. Sorry, continue.
And somebody mentions something on social media, and you go in for the attack because you think differently to them. You think that they should have their dog on a lead, or you think that you shouldn't have your dog on a lead. Well, that adds actually to your daily stress levels.
Yeah.
That can stress it'll
make you sick, man. It'll make you sick.
Yeah. Chronic illnesses are mostly caused by stress.
Yeah, and this isn't.
I can't say mostly because I'm not a doctor, but a lot of it.
A lot of them are
heart problems, blood circulation problems. Stress plays a huge role in that.
We know the physiological effects of that. I mean, I have no hair, and that's because of stress.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that's where that came from. Yeah, no, true story. Yeah. So there are physiological effects to that, and when you are, when you respond like that, and the big emotions of it, everything like that, and it does, and it affects people, and it affects you, and it affects health, and it affects the whole community vibe. And unfortunately, social media is just kind of the cesspool. I don't know.
It's an outlet for people's frustration, but it doesn't help.
That's it.
So,
yes, so being able to take that kind of positive nature, the realizing blessings and mercies and being grateful. If you look around our time, I saw a new Revive Sedgefield bin up.
Oh, they're great. They're great.
It made me so happy. Yeah. And being able to actually think on those, of course, discuss the negative things. We're not shy about that, especially when it comes to the council.
Yeah.
or
do you know those bins? I learnt a while back, a couple of weeks or 3 or 4 weeks ago.
That stuff goes in them, yes. Not next to. In. There we go. We're all growing.
No, I learned that a certain individual, and I'm not going to mention the name because that's not why the thing was done.
Codename individual,
Codename individual. Yeah. Had those bins made at his own factory.
Yes.
And donated them.
Really?
No.
What?
Nobody. I learned it by chance.
Yeah.
No request for recognition.
Oh.
No. Just
that gives me goosebumps.
Yeah. And and they're all over town.
They are. They are
the
beautiful.
Positivity that comes from that.
Oh,
From
I love that.
How's that?
Yes. And you can do it.
Yeah, no, it really is good. And as we said earlier, when you're nice to someone, it's not like you have a limit. Yeah, you've never
hit
said
capacity.
to someone, you don't walk away when you've said to a shop, a till operator at the shop, hey, have a nice day.
Yeah, like a naviak, like a dag,
Yeah, you're not going to walk away going, oh, darn, why did I say that? That's one down. I've only got 3 left and I have to use them on my family.
Yeah,
No, positivity makes for positivity.
It does.
Yeah.
It really helps. Brings us
Give
together.
someone the benefit of a bad day and smile and wave.
Yeah. No, I really do like that. And it's something so small, but something so practical that can actually make a real tangible effect on a community. And that's what we're all about. Yeah. Hey, in line with that, I've been hearing really good things, and this was also in the paper, of course, of Laboshka.
Oh, yeah, Laboshka.
What does Laboshka mean?
I don't know. It means that there's a new restaurant.
Yes. New restaurant. They're going to have to change their name after a few years.
In our paper, a new restaurant on the Elandskraal Road, at the top there. And they've just joined our advertising what would you call them? A group
repertoire,
of
gang.
Gang, yeah.
They're basically a gang. Your gang of advertisers.
They're Edge supporters. No, and I haven't been there yet, but I've heard
also,
very good things.
Have you seen the photos?
With a view.
Yeah. Have you seen the photos? Yeah, I saw that was the
yeah.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, no, it does.
Looks absolutely
so
amazing.
that's well worth a try. Yeah.
So Laboshka means the forests.
Oh.
In Spanish. Maybe in a different language it's something else.
Everywhere.
Maybe in French.
I'm sure I don't think they've got a Spanish forest.
In French it means the bosca.
Oh, the bosca. Well, there we go.
I did the auto translate.
Yeah.
But it does. It looks like a great place. And I love hearing about kind of the new places that pop up that get a lot of community support because they're putting in really good effort and doing a good job. And that's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Not having experience yet.
It's great to hear, yeah. And we get, the town is growing.
This is true.
It's nice. And if we can get nice restaurants that sort of add to the specialness of Sedgefield, then what a pleasure. That's an absolute pleasure.
I'd be keen to talk about this next week, about the now we're talking about positivity, but the negative effects of kind of tourism and Airbnb-ing. And I mean, this is what happened in Barcelona. Airbnb-ing. It's a real word now. Ask Google. Don't fact check me. Yeah. So where it was Barcelona, right? Where the people...
Barcelona.
I'll bring you back.
I am from Barcelona.
Yeah, this is like back... This is like back to episode 10 or 12 or somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Early days where we spoke about it and how the locals were actually chasing the tourists away because it was driving up the prices of everything, of the rent, of all of
restaurants,
that.
All those
all
things.
of that.
Yeah.
I mean, they were being rude. They were spraying with water pistols.
Yes, yeah, they
tourists.
didn't want the tourists there. I think that was basically what happened there was it became... I think the word is gentrified.
Yes, yeah.
So the people had nowhere to live because if you're renting an apartment for, I'm throwing figures out here, 60 pesos a month, and suddenly you must pay 700 pesos a month.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And you're saying, why are you talking to me like an Italian?
While twirling a moustache. That's how you get that accent right.
Oh, is that
we can hear the moustache twirl.
Oh, that's good. It's all. I've got it waxed.
Oh, beautiful.
So that basic. So we hope that doesn't happen here. I mean, there is a shortage of housing in Sedgefield.
I've heard one story about that, which it'd be interesting to pass it over to next week, I think, and hear what we have to say about that.
Get some comments on that. We've had quite a few comments of late, and it'd be nice for people to ask or to give their opinions.
Yes,
and we will fact check.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Plus minus. We'll rely on the Edge for the real facts, and we'll throw out a few more opinions, get the discussion going, because discussions in these chats really do make a difference.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Don't they just?
Yeah. And I think that does it for us for this week. Yeah. Okay. Would you believe it?
Wow, that was
well.
good. That was good.
That was, as always, Bomber. Thanks so much for the
It's been
chat.
very real. Thank you very much.
has.
And good night, day, morning, noon. Noon to
good
you.
noon.
Noon to you.